Trying to stay organized and keep my head above water. Literally, I am just sort of staying afloat with trying to get my brain wrapped around with where I'm at and what's going on in my life, and dealing with the changes that have undoubtedly occurred since winning gold in Whistler. Absolutely, you never stop shooting for gold. Undoubtedly, it will be a different experience if I happen to claim it again in Sochi in 4 years' time. That's going to be a tough row to hoe in that one, but we're going to keep working for it and never shoot for anything less. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm neck deep. I'm, suffocating in all the money that's pouring in on me. No, sadly, that's not the case. Unfortunately, amateur athletes in Canada, we're not destitute by any means. We do get stipends from the federal government, and they do make sure that if you choose to live a meager life, you won't perish, but that's not good enough for me, so I'll have to supplement my income with a job most of the time, and hopefully now that we've gained a little bit of notoriety from the Olympics in 2010 and a gold medal, hopefully I can ride that wave for a bit and make some hay while the sun is shining. Feels like maybe I would do well by considering a move or a postal code change, but I honestly wouldn't leave Canada for all the tea in China. So I'll take my slightly lesser status and live here in a better country. I think it stems from my upbringing. My father was a history teacher and a geography teacher and a very, very proud Canadian. He had a Canadian flag on his wall in his classroom, and when we were growing up, it was always very present, and he was always very mindful to tell us that we're lucky to live in this country, and we spent a great deal of time exploring it. When I was young, I remember getting a story from him, and I don't know in what capacity it was, whether it was a poem or whether it was a short story along that same basis, but I do remember the line, "Hoe to the end of the row," and it stuck with me. It's something that I value as far as a motto is concerned, perhaps, because I think it speaks volume to the way that I've gone about things. It always hasn't been the fastest progression, and I wasn't the best skeleton athlete right out of the box. But through some diligent work, some tenacity, I hoed to the end of that row, and I think it paid dividends for seeing things through to the finish. Percentile of chicks digging skeleton, I'm hoping that it's gone up. If it's gone down, that doesn't bode well for me. With increased exposure and now less desire for skeleton athletes, that's not good for us. So let's hope it's climbing through the roof. We've been in lots of different situations, some of them awkward, some of them fun, some of them interesting, some of them unforgettable. I've had emails from a gentleman, I believe in the Netherlands, that was inquiring as to whether or not I'd be so inclined to send him a photo of my rear end and perhaps in a Speedo. I signed a pregnant lady's stomach while her husband took photos happily and asked if I would actually sign her pregnant belly. That was interesting. I won't forget that one. And just countless other awkward, am I going to shake the hand? Are we going in for a hug? Not for me, no. I have to be mindful of what time of day is it when people are offering me beer. But if it's past noon, I might graciously accept and have a pint with somebody. I'm a boxer brief kind of fella, for sure. The fact that I've maybe got Beethoven on my iPod, that might surprise some people, perhaps. It's not bad to warm up to. It usually ends up in some big booming final crescendo, and that can get the guy's blood pumping before when you're doing your warm-up, so that might be something people don't know. Oh, well, I guess one time I did leave my runner guards on my sled and put it down in the groove, and as I'm running, it was one of the longest starts in the world, luckily, because I'm pushing my sled and it's going and making this noise that I've never heard before in my life, and I'm thinking, what the hell is that? And before I got over the crest and loaded onto my sled, luckily enough, I was able to take my runner guards off and throw them back towards the start and continue on my way, but that would have made for an incredibly slow and rather painful run, I'm sure, with going down the track with runner guards on. The male injury is a risk factor in skeleton as well, especially in the outrun where it's quite a bit bumpier than the rest of the track. Concussions, broken fingers, severed fingers, cracked ribs, concussions, unconscious. Those are the preeminent risks involved in this sliding sports, especially skeleton. Crazy carpets. Too many variables there for my liking. I think that might actually be a little bit crazier than skeleton racing. Let's go with pizza. We had it tonight, so I may as well make the folks at Twist Marketing think that they gave me my favorite meal. So pizza. Mom's chicken supper, close second, but I don't think you were going to be able to pull that off tonight, so pizza.